Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another glorious company on Heroes 3 casting out. And it's this episode we're going to be going up against the mighty Imperial Dane of the fatherland, Sieg Heil. Sieg Heil on mine relic poster boys, yeah. So tactical pause engage, because tactical and relic go together. What am I going to be doing in this video? We're going to be showing you how to deal with the scummy Sturm Pioneer spam of the fatherland, yeah. I did make a video a couple days ago, Flaming Relic, because you could duplicate Storm Pioneer veterancy and units for free, and that's incredibly broken. But they did release a hotfix patch, at least fixing the duplication and the free Storm Pioneers glitch. So let's give Relic a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. The issue is that they didn't fix the units because they're incredibly cost effective and, you know, G43 go burr. So what am I going to be doing to counter it? First off, Pathfinder's capping the fuel on the left side of the map. I will get an engineer going. We'll cap the manpower point and then rush for the middle of the map to maintain fuel control and map presence. Jeep will come out next to harass the Sturm Pioneers and try to handle the cutoff points. And then Rifleman will come out and back cap. The name of the game is harassing. Because his units are so cost effective and great at range, if you don't get a lid on it in the early game, he will fuck your shit up. If you've been wondering where I've been at, ladies and gentlemen, I just took a break from Company Heroes. I was uninspired. I thought the game was, getting really lame. And, Relic did release a pretty decent patch other than the broken Sturm. I was bitching about the Sturm Pioneers because that was incredibly broken. There's a lot of broken things, but with that hotfix, it made the 1v1s tolerable again. And yeah, I've just been focusing on college. I have to have an A average, diagnostic medical sonography, ultrasound, and I really got back into running. I've been back into long distance running. I ran like 60 miles in a week. It was awesome. 5 miles today. I ran at a 7:30 pace, for about the first 2 miles, so I was really happy with that. It's working out. So Jeep's out into the field. Immediately take that Jeep and harass. Be cautious. Mines from the Sturm Pioneers will GG you very quickly. So the name of the game is just bleed him in the early game. I know for a fact he's not going to have mines in the first minute and 20 seconds. So you just got to be cautious. Again, before somebody goes, the Sturm Pioneers aren't that good. What Imperial Dane should have done is put his Sturm Pioneers into the medium cover, maintain the cap, but he did not do that. So pro tip for Imperial Dane. My buddy was like, hey, Imperial Dane's bitching about you, right, in the stream. I said, no fucking way. First thing out of his mouth, brain dead USF, this, underskilled, underpowered. Buddy, you're making the best unit in the game right now. I think one Sturm Pioneer squad is more cost effective than the Strobe squad with the STG upgrade. So Jeep is going to go ahead and bleed him as much as possible. We're keeping it at range. Jeep's kind of weird. You either keep it at range or hug him and to try to win the engagement. But luckily, we're both half health. I noticed that he's going to go ahead and hug that green cover. I'm going to push the Jeep up, ram it down his throat, and negate that green cover. And again, when you're playing these 1v1s, don't just focus on the one engagement. I'm still doing stuff in the back of the map. I've got the engineers around the medium cover, and just in case, I had a feeling that he's going to go MG42. A lot of these Storm Pioneer spam builds will go MG42, and what they'll do is they'll bleed you at range, and if you try to press, the MG42 go burr, so we're going to be cautious. Jeep. I'm saving the repair ability. I'm moving the engineers over. They're next, nearby in town. I'm going to go ahead and repair it because later on I might need that emergency repair and the engineers might not be nearby. Excuse me. That runner's high. I'm going to be stuttering a little bit. But we're doing exactly what we want to do. Keep him away from the fuel. It's already easy enough for Axis to get fuel in this game. Keep him away from the fuel as much as possible. Let him think I have more fuel than it is. So, MG42 and medium cover. Dane grew a brain. Awesome. Good job, Dane. Since you want to be salty in your stream. No hard feelings, but I'm just joking with you. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the Jeep, and I'm going to go ahead and go around the MG42. The MP40s can bleed you efficiently, so we need to be cautious. I'm assuming, because Dane likes to run down the middle, Sturm Pioneers are going to come from here, and we have an avenue of escape right here with the Jeep. This is still a risky play. So I'm going to keep my eye out and just wait for the half health drop. And there's the MP40s bleeding me, but luckily I get around town, and the Jeep is going to just try to get as much damage as possible. Left side of the map, I notice that the Sturm Pioneers are going to win this engagement. Pathfinders can't fight, so I'm going to stick him in the building, try to bleed him, and he'll hug the side of the building. So what I'll do is I'll keep them there and wait for the engineers to rotate over. And I'm going to activate the auto repair on the Jeep. Riflemen are moving. I should have kept them, moving a little bit faster. Next rifleman squad out into the build, and then we're going to rush captain. So because he's trying, burn me out of this building and the heavy cover's kicking in, I will scoot those engineers over while the Jeep is repairing. And we're comfortable with this engagement. I noticed the Pioneer squad, so I go, okay, not the end of the world. And again, Sturm Pioneer coming out into the field. Jeep was going to run down his throat and get as much bleed as possible, but his Pioneers are coming up to flank me in the rear, so I'm going to go, okay, I'm going to back off. There's a lot to cover. On the left side of the map, I'm about to chase him away. So everything's working out. He's going to go for the building. I go, okay, well, I'll just go ahead and get the manpower bleed continuing on you. Fuck you. I don't need that. I noticed the Sturm Pioneer kind of trickles away. I thought he was still in the area code, so I'm being cautious. Riflemen coming out to support this engagement over here. What am I going to do? Engineers, I can't lose them. Scouts, you know, if I do lose them, it sucks, but it's not the end of the world. I'm going to take the scouts and rapid decap the fuel. These engineers are about to get chased off. So I'm going to use these guys to, again, get the munitions started, because when the STGs pop, it's pretty much GG, well played. There's his 3rd Stern Pioneer squad coming out to the field. Don't worry, he'll make more. That's not spam. Priest not spam. He'll make more, or attempt to make more. So I noticed that the map's getting captured. I saw the Stern Pioneer backing off. I go, okay, let's go ahead and take a peek of what is decapping the middle of the map. And I'm going to go ahead and catch a glimpse of it. It's MG42. I go, okay, it has to be unsupported because here's that fresh Stern Pioneer squad. So I'm going to go ahead and put pressure on the MG in the middle of the map because it has nothing covering it. So I win this engagement. I chase them away. I'm being cautious again because there could be mines anywhere. So I'm just, you know, trying to get a little more bleed. I don't want to dive because, again, one mine, GG, well played. If I lose this Jeep, I won't be able to, you know, harass them as much as possible. And backing off. This will be a short video again. You know, Dane couldn't handle mine glorious style, yeah. I'm Sieg bussing. I'm Sieg bussing for the fatherland, yeah. So I'm taking the safe route with the Jeep. I'm not going to go through here. I'm going to hug as much as possible because I'm assuming that, you know, there could be a mine. I noticed 2 Stern Pioneer squads out in the field. Dane, go ahead and take notes, buddy. I see that you put 1 into medium cover. Good job. But hey, at this, you know, this one is trying to come to my riflemen. My riflemen are still good at range. You should have backed off, but hey, that's just me. So I'm going to go ahead and rotate fire on the closer squad with the Jeep harassing the closer squad as well, and put as much bleed as possible. Dane does put him into medium cover, so hats off to you, Dane. Good job, buddy. He's going to activate his nade through ability. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take the rifleman and just try to dodge it. But look, this is the dumbest ability ever. It follows you, right? So what is the plan? I know that I'm probably not going to win this engagement, but I can kite the rifleman while the Jeep bleeds this unit right here, and that's what we're doing. So I'm going to go ahead and kite him around town. Go ahead and throw your nades. I'm trying to, like, dodge. There we go. Get a little dodge going. Feeling good. Feeling confident. And, again, we win this engagement because the riflemen are the focus. He can't shoot me, and the Jeep's going to go ahead and just bleed him as much as possible. So fuck your, you know, weird little grenade ability, because there's 60,000 grenades on my back pockets with the fatherland! Yeah. You know, the fatherland never ran out of grenades, even though logistically you guys weren't keeping up by the end of the war. We had ice cream boats when you were eating fucking rats. Get wrecked. So Jeep, I'm going to go ahead and activate the repair ability. I've been, you know, cautious, been, you know, doing my job, stacking. Mines are going to go ahead and go down in the middle of the map. We're trying to save the muni. Here's my debate. I could have tore you up with this Jeep even more because you want to call it brain dead, but guess what, Dane? There's 2 big things with a Jeep that we have to understand. You could put mines anywhere, but you're probably resting STGs like I think. Oh, actually, I think you went medical, right? Did you make the bunker like I think you did? Ah, you made the bunker like I thought you did! Whoa! So, pro tip, this bunker heals faster than the actual base healing of the medical station. That's why most people go bunker, and that's why you didn't have any munis, Dane. So, yeah. You could have paid the fuel like you're supposed to. He's going to go ahead and rush the tech. Made the bunker like I thought you did. So, I'm putting mines, prepping the map, just being cautious. Captain's out. We're going to go ahead and rush up for our next tech. Turn this off, select the player only. And that's exactly what we're going to do. I think I had another train of thought, but I lost it, my bad. So we need to make sure our Greyhounds are out. I could have went more riflemen, but guess what? 2 riflemen is not brain dead, Dane. I'm being cautious because I want my Greyhound. Harassed you with the Jeep. You should have put your units into cover. Ah, there's the MG42 setting up. Captain's going to go ahead and hug the green cover. I want him to focus on the Jeep while that's happening. We're going to move that Captain. Oh, there it is. And he's doing exactly what I want to do. Captain's going to get behind the green cover, bleed him. I'm going to kite the MG42. So he's going to try to set up and get me again. I think he messes up on the setup. There's the STGs that I'm talking about. You should have put a mine down, Dane, but you didn't. And I'm bleeding him. I'm focusing the MG42. That's exactly what we want. Here's my engineers hugging the green cover. So, before somebody goes, the Stern Pioneer is not that bad. He's basically going to win this engagement. I'm already in green cover. I'm behind it. These 2 units cost exactly the same. 200 to 200 manpower, right? So I don't want to hear it. He has the STG upgrade. I understand that his unit's more powerful. Jeep's going to go ahead and kite him as much as possible. We don't know how many command points he's on. We have to be cautious because these guys will most likely go Panzerfaust. So boom. He's basically going to win that engagement. I can't lose the engineers. They're vet 1. They have the speed repair ability, and we're going to need that as much as possible. I was already prepped in green cover. He was running at me. I don't want to hear it. All right, Jeep. We're being very risky, but I need to get as much bleed as possible. We're on the veteran C2. We've gotten a lot of utility out of it. 8 kills. This is amazing. Scouts are buying time. Greyhound just popped, as you heard. Now, I am being a little bit slow. These guys should have been immediately running back out, but I'm putting all my focus onto getting these Sturm Pioneers away. If your scout is at half health, 3 models, run them back. You know, this is very risky because the Sturm Pioneers can and will drop you, and you'll be surprised by the crit hits. He's in medium cover. He's doing a great job. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the big boy Greyhound. You know, I'm going to move the rifleman in to close the gap. And what are we going to do? We're going to focus on the weight. This is exactly how we get him out of the game, because check out what I'm talking about with these Sturm Pioneers. 1, 2, 3. He's trying to get a 4th one. He does have an AT gun out. So even though I've maintained all this map control right, and he's paid for veterancy and sacrificed the fuel for it, let's go ahead and show you. He is teched up into tier 3. He has an AT gun counter, and if he would have kept playing, he would have had a stood counter to my Greyhound. So that's exactly why we have to maintain that pressure and the access in the early game, because no matter what, no matter how much fuel control you have, they will pop out a tank and wreck your life. This Greyhound is only giving me a power spike as much as I'm making it, right? But at any time, he could have cut off and destroyed me. Now, there's a South Korean player named Ray. He goes on and on about how riflemen are overpowered, and it's just like there's an entire culture of South Koreans that do nothing but RTS. I'm just not impressed by the South Koreans as a people in general. I have a lot of veteran friends that are like, they're really fucking rude. So, Greyhound's going for the bleeds. You know, getting as much as possible. I get a lot of lucky crit hits. This is no cover, and I'm just going to go for the wipe, and boom. That is huge. That is huge. That is one less infantry squad onto the field. That is not going to harass me. That is not going to bother me. That's one less mine to deal with. And I know for a fact with the STG upgrades, he most likely doesn't have any mines. So we feel comfortable with this. I notice the MG42 setting up. I'm going to go ahead and get the bleed. I'm assuming there's an AT gun. This map is really hard for AT guns to set up. And you know what else, Dane? Because you want Sturm Pioneer spam, no bitches, no snares. So that's why I was running it down your throat. Because I know for a fact until, let me show you, until you get Panzerfaust rollout, which makes all your infantry anti-tank. Oh, the infantry anti-tank. I know that you can't touch me. So I was assuming that because I was on command point 3, that you were at command point 3 as well. Somehow you have more command points than me, or you have more command point, like, overall pushing up. I don't know how that's possible, right? Even though I have a heavy bleed on you. Gotta love, I just don't understand. So, repairing the Jeep. The self-repair was not online, just being cautious. And I'm just harassing him again. I know there could be a mine, but Imperial Dane's going to go ahead and surrender. And that's how you shut it down, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you shut down the Sturm Pioneer build in the early game. There's a lot. The map's just going to go away. Oh, the quality of these replays. So, constant harassment. We maintain control of the middle of the map. Even though he had those really strong Sturm Pioneers, right? That he could have absolutely harassed me onto the field. I utilized the Jeep as much as possible. If Dane would have taken the time to put down one mine and, you know, instead of rushing the medical building and just put mines everywhere, then my Jeep would have most likely tapped the mine and it would have been GG well played. With that Jeep, I could have went rapid decaps, right, and just capped up all the map, but you don't want those Sturm Pioneers to have a field presence. What I was going to do if I started losing, there's too many MGs, I would have taken the Jeep and activate resupply platform, and I would have pumped out a mortar and a 30 cal and avoided the tech up into tier 2. So that's another good thing. The problem is you need about 140 munis for both of those upgrades, 70 or 75 each, so, you know, 140, 150. I mean, there's a lot going on here. No hard feelings to Dane. It's just that when I checked his stream, like my buddy was telling me after the match, because I don't fucking stream watch like a fucking cheesy son of a bitch, I just noticed that you're raging, Dane. You're raging really hard, and it frustrated me. And it's like every time I play against you, Dane, you're always saying like the USF is OP. Just play USF. If it's so OP, play USF and write back to me how it feels. Okay? Because I play Axis, and let me tell you, the Sturm Pioneers are crazy right now. All right, GG, well played. Maybe I'll make a video. I don't know. I got my finals coming up in a couple days, so we'll see. GG, well played. Yeah.